Okay, looks like we're live. Hey, folks, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you happen to be watching this, welcome. I'm glad you're here. For anyone who's watching this later, welcome. I'm glad you're watching the video. Well, last week we talked about digging in, diving in, getting going here. And there's an important first step that we need to take if we're going to get and stay healthy. Now, most of us being entrepreneurs, we want to dig right in. We want to get going, want to dive into tactics and strategies and what should I be eating and what supplements should I be taking and should I be doing this or should I be doing that? And all those are great questions, but there is a really important one that we need to ask ourselves first if we're going to choose the right options for ourselves. And so the very first question that we need to ask when we get started is, where are we right now? Because some of us are going to be here and some of us are going to be there and some of us are going to be everywhere in between. What's the current state of our health right now? There's very different things a person needs to do if they're dealing with digestive issues, autoimmunity, or other issues versus someone who's has been and always is and always has been very healthy. The things that those people are going to need to do are going to be very different. The tactics and strategies that those people are going to need to do are going to look quite different from one another. And if we don't take a moment to understand where we are, we can end up wasting tons of time, tons of energy, tons of money doing things that aren't really helpful for us. They make sense for someone else, but they don't make sense for us. Now, that's obvious, right? We can think as entrepreneurs what $100 million a year business, what $1 billion a year business needs to do is going to look very different from what a startup or from a one-person solopreneur or small company, the things that they're going to need to do. While we can say what a business needs to do in general, the principles behind being a successful business are all going to be the same. The tactics and strategies that each of those companies is going to need to do are going to look very different. And that same lesson applies for us in our health. Now, in regular medicine, there really are only two categories that a person falls into. One, they're sick. They've got a lot of stuff going on, whether it's digestive issues, autoimmunity, diabetes, heart disease, a car accident, whatever it might be. They're sick. They've got problems. They've got big symptoms going on now, and they need active treatment to fix those issues. Now, that might be very mild, like someone has a cold and they just need to rest and take it easy and recover, or it might mean that they're in for emergency surgery in the intensive care unit of the hospital. Can look very different, of course, but when we're sick, it's usually pretty darn obvious we know about it, unless we're in denial or some strange circumstances. And then for regular medicine, if we're not sick, the other choice is, boom, we're healthy, right? So healthy is basically not being sick. So when we're not sick, when we get out of the hospital or we get over that cold or we get that broken bone taken care of or whatever else might be going on for a person, then we're healthy. Now, listen, from a more holistic perspective, we know that that's too simplistic. It's not true that if we're not sick, we're not healthy. And so we can expand this category to four levels to better capture where we might be in our health journey. So yes, we do have sick on one end. And again, most of us know that we're sick. And if you're sick, you're watching this, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you, and it's important to recognize that that is where we are. Now, one level up from sick is not healthy, but is what we call not sick, but not healthy. And many people fall into this category. Many people that you see walking around on the street, maybe not walking around right now with COVID and everything else, but that you see walking around or that you encounter in your daily life fall into this category of being not sick, but not healthy. Now, often someone in this category is going to have milder symptoms. You know, they're not going to the hospital or dealing with anything like that, but they're not going to feel great. They've got issues going on. They've got digestive issues. They've got autoimmunity. They've got pain and discomfort. They might have other issues that are going on for a person that the regular doctor says, that's just getting old, or you know what, just live with it, or take a couple of aspirin or ibuprofen or some Tums or other heartburn medication, and just get on with your life. Not most, but many people that we know are in this category. If they don't get it taken care of, if they're not actively involved in improving their health, they're not going to stay in this not sick but not healthy category forever. They're going to slide down into the sick side of the category. And often for many people, especially more serious issues like digestive issues and autoimmunity, when the regular medicine does a good job of pulling people out of that sick place, they plop them into the second category, the not sick but not healthy place, and end up leaving them there. So my question to you is, really, if we're being honest with ourselves, are you in this category? And again, it is okay. There's no blame, shame, or guilt around this. First step is acknowledging where we really are. Many people are going to find themselves in this category. Now, the third category up from that is, yes, health. Healthy. When we're healthy, we should have little to no symptoms. We should have good energy. We should feel good. Our tests, when we have them done, should look good. Not borderline, not a little bit off, but really they should look good and solid, and we should be in a good place. And this is a great place to be. If you are in this place, congratulations. Now the trick is we want to make sure that we stay there. A lot of us, when we're in this healthy category, we just tend to take things for granted. We may not keep up our health habits. We may not do the things that we need to do to be healthy. And unfortunately, health, even though we tend to take it for granted, isn't something that just automatically stays there, especially as we get older, especially as we have higher demands on ourselves. As entrepreneurs, we want to put higher demands on ourselves for greater performance. We really want to do things with our lives. And if we don't take care of our health, we're going to tend to slide down into the not healthy but not sick, and then all the way into the sick category. But also there is one level up from health as well. Now, if you're healthy or if someone's healthy and they're happy there, they don't want to do any more work, okay, that's fine. But it is possible to move from healthy into the fourth category, which we call thriving. This is where we feel great. Listen, none of us are Superman, Superwoman. None of us can be perfect all of the time. And this is one of the problems I have with the biohacking community, where they talk about, running at 110% energy all the time. That's just not realistic for human beings. We are going to have those times when our energy dips, or when our concentration or focus dips, or, when our mood dips. We don't just feel great. That is normal, and it's part of being a human being. But when we're thriving, we're really in a good place. Our energy is really good. Our mood is great. We feel good physically, mentally, emotionally. Everything's firing on all cylinders, and we're in a really good place. And that's where all of us, I hope, aim for. It's okay where we are. The first step is acknowledging where we are. Most of us are not going to be thriving. Many of us are not going to be healthy. A lot of us are going to be in that not healthy but not sick place. And some of us are at a place where we're sick right now. Wherever you are, it is okay. But the first step is being real and acknowledging where you are. Some of you, again, watching this, are going to be in the sick place. That's okay. You can get better. Many of us are going to be in the not sick but not healthy place. That's okay. The important thing is to recognize that we're there, and that ultimately it's really not good to stay there. So much better can happen. Some of us are going to be in the healthy place. Congratulations to you, but it's no reason to rest on our laurels. And some of us are going to be thriving. Awesome. Wonderful. Good job. Again, we need to be an active participant and take care of our health. All right. That is it for me today, folks. The first step, I welcome you. If you feel up to it, to go ahead and put in the comments, where are you? Are you sick? Are you not healthy but not sick right now? Are you healthy, or are you thriving? No matter where you are, this group is built as a place of support. We want to help support you in moving up that category, getting as close to number 4, thriving, as possible. And listen, if you're in the not sick, not healthy, or in the sick category, you like to have a conversation, then just reach out. Leave me a comment, send me a Facebook message, or an email to info@aspirenaturalhealth.com. Let's have a chat, see what I can do to help you. All right, folks, that is it for me today. Listen, tomorrow we're going to continue this conversation and take the next step that we need to take if we want to be healthy. All right, folks, that is it for me today. Till next time, take care.